Honda has quietly filed to protect the design rights for what appears to be the production-ready version of its V3R 900 E-Compressor, and the timing tells its own story. Rather than a splashy reveal, this arrived through the dry paperwork of Australia's Intellectual Property Office, filed back on March 26th but only made public now. Buried in the filing is a reference to an earlier application lodged in Japan on October 2nd, 2025, one that remains under embargo. For a bike this ambitious, one built around a forced-induction V3 engine unlike anything else in Honda's current lineup, it's a strangely bureaucratic way to make an entrance, and it raises the obvious question of why Honda continues to let regulatory filings do the talking instead of controlling its own narrative. What the images do confirm is that Honda hasn't backed away from the design language shown on the camouflaged prototype at EICMA. The headlight unit looks untouched, and the asymmetrical cowl treatment survives intact, with a larger right side panel still pulling double duty as an air intake and airbox. The two-tone split following the trellis frame up to the headstock, punctuated by a circular badge mount for Honda's new flagship wing emblem, suggests the company is serious about positioning this as a genuine top-tier model rather than a one-off tech demonstrator. The engine remains the real story, and Honda clearly knows it. The power plant is left fully exposed on both sides of the bodywork, practically begging to be photographed. The layout itself is unusual enough to justify the attention. Two cylinders pointed forward, one pointed back, arranged in a 75-degree V, with the electrically controlled compressor perched above the front bank. Honda has already confirmed displacement at 900 cc, with the compressor supposedly pushing output to rival a 1200 cc naturally aspirated engine. That's a compelling pitch on paper. But forced induction on production motorcycles has a rocky history of manufacturers overpromising and under-delivering on both real-world reliability and the promised power-to-weight advantage, and Honda has offered nothing yet in the way of hard numbers to back the claim. Chassis-wise, there's little drama, which may be the most reassuring part of this filing. The inverted fork and dual radial mount Nissan calipers appear carried over from the prototype, alongside a distinctive brake rotor design, while out back a Honda ProLink linkage supports a single-side swing arm. It's a sensible, proven setup rather than something engineered to draw attention away from an engine that's already doing plenty of that on its own. A reminder that Honda seems to be spending its innovation budget in one place rather than spreading it thin across the whole machine. All signs point to a full unveiling at EICMA in November, the same stage where Honda first showed the prototype and, before that, the initial engine concept. That's a methodical, almost cautious rollout for a bike built around genuinely novel engineering, and it leaves enthusiasts stuck reading design patents for clues rather than spec sheets. Whether the V3R 900 E-Compressor turns out to be a genuine leap forward for forced induction motorcycles or another ambitious concept that gets quietly softened before it reaches dealers is still an open question, and one Honda seems in no hurry to answer.